Hi, it's Jess. I'm here this week with a relationship reality series. And so today I'm going to dive right in. A woman wrote in and she asked, Jess, what do I do if my boyfriend says one thing but does another? And I know that this has actually been coming up a lot over these last weeks, kind of looking at it from a place of, how do we talk about it? What do we do with it? And I'm still having women writing in, as well as with people with who I'm working with. And, there's a big kind of sticking point with it, where it's like, I'm noticing that something's happening, but we're not too sure what to do with it. And this is where the term calling someone on their bullshit comes up. And I think that it's a really important thing to talk about because it's something that people in general, but especially women, really struggle with. And I really want to clarify, calling someone on their bullshit is not about being aggressive. It's not about being rude. It's not about being overpowering or anything like that. It's not about getting in someone's face even. It's really about, hi, Victoria. It's really about, tuning into what your knowing is, tuning into what you see is happening, what's happening within your relationship, and being able to name it. And that's such an important process when we think about being in a conscious relationship, because there's so many things that happen for us in our relationships that go beneath the surface, that kind of go and fly under the radar. And so we can go into our relationships, into our everyday, and so many things can be happening, but we're not aware of it. So being in a conscious relationship is about having awareness. And we have to constantly pay attention because as human beings, it's so easy for so many things to be in our unconscious, to not be in our awareness. So we really want to be able to take the time to notice inconsistencies and things that are missing out. And women have such a deep intuition for these things, but too often we don't speak it or we don't kind of maintain that. We might say something, but then we kind of leave it alone because there's too much conflict or too much resistance. And so if you're seeing that someone's doing something, your partner's doing one thing, and it's different from what they're saying, you need to be able to talk about it. You need to be able to call them out on their bullshit. And this doesn't just apply to just you calling your partner out on their bullshit. It also has to do with you doing that for yourself, because we can trick ourselves without even knowing it as well. We can say one thing, we can say that we're really happy, but deep down inside, in our gut, in our deeper knowing, there's something else actually happening. And so it applies to us with relationships with other people, but also for ourselves. So when we think about and we're noticing our boyfriend is doing one thing and different from what they're saying, you have kind of an option there. You either say something about it or you don't. And essentially, if you want some change to happen, and if you want and truly desire to live in that sort of conscious relationship, you're going to want to be able to call someone out on their bullshit. You're going to want to be able to speak truth. You're going to want to be able to tune into your deeper knowing and then be able to express that. And so you don't want to ignore it. When you're kind of the kind of spidey senses are going off, you want to be able to say something and talk about it. And so this is such a struggle for so many people. I have my Light the Spark workshop coming up July 10th. This is an area that we really kind of focus in on, how do we tune into our intuition? How do we tune into our own power, as an empowered woman? How do we be able to kind of express and communicate these things within our relationship so we really get to experience the relationship that we truly desire? So that's it for today. I'll see you again next week for the Relationship Reality series. Feel free, write in anytime with any sorts of questions or maybe even thoughts that you have on some of the topics that we're already discussing. Have a great day.